problem with AI chatbots. Every AI chatbot can hallucinate. They can very confidently give incorrect information and have the entire scope of the English language to do so. You can try to prompt engineer around it, add guardrails, use RAG. But the model still can generate anything, and when the output is free-form text, it becomes impossible to guarantee the output. For customer support, this is dangerous because it can invent non-existent policies, procedures, and give facts that are not true. This becomes more than just a mistake because companies can be held liable for promises made. These aren't hypothetical scenarios. Companies have faced lawsuits, payouts, and reputational damage because their chatbots hallucinated. Here are some cases. Air Canada. A customer's grandmother died, and when he asked Air Canada's chatbot about a bereavement discount on his fare, the bot told him he could claim a refund within 90 days. This was false, and Air Canada's actual policy doesn't allow this. When he tried to claim the refund as the chatbot instructed, Air Canada refused and the matter went to a tribunal. In the tribunal, Air Canada tried to state that the chatbot was a separate legal entity responsible for its own actions. But the tribunal didn't agree and ruled against them. They had to pay damages and tribunal fees. The written response from the tribunal stated it makes no difference whether the information comes from a static page or a chatbot. New York's MyCity chatbot. This was launched to help small businesses with advice. It gave dangerously wrong legal guidance, including telling shop owners they could refuse cash payments, which violated the law, and told landlords they could reject tenants using housing vouchers, which again was illegal. Businesses following the bot's advice would be breaking the law. Chevrolet dealer. A chatbot agreed to sell a $75,000 Chevy Tahoe for $1 after being persuaded via prompt injection. DPD, their chatbot was easily persuaded to start swearing at customers and criticizing DPD itself. As these examples show, the AI made a mistake may not be a valid defense, and the company may be legally liable or at least suffer from brand damage resulting from a wayward AI. The Cage solution. Cage removes the ability to hallucinate. Instead of generating free-form responses, Cage selects from a predetermined list of approved answers. The model outputs a placeholder token like question card lock reason, and your code substitutes it with the full response. The LLM's job becomes simple: understand what the customer needs, then pick the right response from the menu. It allows it to leverage its natural language processing and intelligence whilst reining in its output. Here's an example interaction. Customer: I forgot my password. Model outputs: answer, reset password. Your code parses this and writes it as, you can reset your password from the sign-in screen by tapping Forgot Password. The model can't invent new facts. It can't go off script. It can only choose from the approved responses you gave it. Cage has multiple benefits. Removed hallucination risk. The model cannot output information you haven't pre-approved. Easy localization. Since the model works with placeholders, you can easily have multiple language mappings, one for each language. Consistent response style. Your responses are written by your team. The tone won't drift or vary unpredictably. Your chatbot will retain your company brand and won't tell people it is ChatGPT. Accurate responses. Responses that require accuracy, such as website URLs and phone numbers, are guaranteed to be correct, rather than the LLM outputting a plausible-looking URL that actually results in a 404 page not found when the user clicks it. Prompt injection resilient. Even in the worst-case scenario, the model can still only output the responses you've pre-configured. Tiny model. Because this model is specialized for this task, you can use a smaller model, which allows deployment on systems with limited VRAM or no GPU while still being performant. How it works. In the system prompt, add the mapping from each placeholder to the desired response, for example as shown on screen here. Always include a statement I can't help with that response option as a fallback for when the model cannot understand the customer's query. The model is trained with placeholders that are prefixed with greeting, answer, question, statement, and URL. You can actually use any format you like, but sticking to these patterns will probably perform better. You might be asking, why not just use a system prompt with a general model? You can ask a model to behave like this purely via system prompt. However, it has to be a reasonably large model to do it well, and it might still fail sometimes. because Cage is fine-tuned, a much smaller model, as small as 0.6 billion parameters, can reliably output correctly as shown in our tests. Since these are small models, they are best used for simple FAQs where not much intelligence is required in deciding which placeholder to use. Bigger models can be made available if there is enough demand. Please visit the model cards at the addresses shown on screen for more details, full code, and ideas for more advanced usage. And why not look at some of GuruBot AI's other unique and interesting models by visiting gurubot.ai.com.